Unconditional love does not mean unconditional acceptance of bad behavior. Welcome everyone to our cosmic journey. Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, I'm Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, January 12th through Saturday, January 18th, 2025. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. It's a spectacular parade of planets all month in the evening sky. What we have this week is from the west to the east, along an approximate line, we get to see super bright Venus, the jewel in the night sky, yellowish Saturn, a very bright Jupiter, a reddish, very bright Mars. And if you've got binoculars, you might get to see the planet Uranus as well, and with a telescope, the elusive, mysterious planet Neptune this week. If you live in the Los Angeles area like I do and are nearby the Griffith Observatory, you might want to make it a point to go see this planetary parade through their giant telescope. The Griffith Observatory is free. Everyone is welcome, and this planetary lineup is really worth the trip. I live close to the Griffith Observatory. It's very family friendly. We have meetups up there. Bring the kids, have some fun. Also, several years ago when they were renovating this iconic historic place, Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock of Star Trek fame, he donated millions to the renovation of the Griffith Observatory. I will love always in my heart Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, my mind to your mind forever. And with what's been going on in recent days here in Los Angeles with the Santa Ana fires, as Mr. Spock would say, and Leonard Nimoy, may you all live long and prosper. The 7 original planets, or the OGs as I call them, that you can see without aid of binoculars or telescope, just like the first original astrologers did, they are lined up this week as such. We start off the week with the Sun in Cardinal Earth Capricorn, the Moon in Cardinal Water Cancer, Mercury is now in Cardinal Earth Capricorn, Venus is exalted in Pisces, Mars is in fall placement of Cancer, Jupiter is in its detriment in Gemini, Saturn is in Pisces direct, Pisces being ruled by Jupiter. Sunday, January 12th, Venus is definitely the star of the show this week. Now, when we start off the week on Sunday, we are in waxing gibbous moon phase. We're almost at the exact moment of the full moon. The moon is in Cancer, her castle, her domicile, very happy. There she has everything that she needs. She's doing great. Now with the moon at home in Cancer, the moon at home in Cancer makes a sublime water trine flow to Venus exalted in Pisces. This aspect of the moon in Cancer trine Venus exalted in Pisces happens about once every 2 years-ish. The last one was in February of 2023. Take a look if you want to as far as what was going on in your love life at that time. Now, Venus exalted in Pisces this month in January is little by little moving closer and closer and closer to the planet Saturn, coming together to form a conjunction. Moon in Cancer trine Venus exalted in Pisces is that falling in love, blissed out, ecstasy, fantasy, where all of the hormones and chemicals, the dopamine, the serotonin in your brain, it feels like being on a natural high. When we fall in love, when we fall hard, love at first sight, it's just like walking on a cloud. There is very little, if anything, that can compare to that feeling of falling in love. Falling in love is that ecstatic feeling that poets have written about, songwriters and musicians have sung about, movies, stories have been told that try to describe that feeling of the moon trine Venus falling in love. After the moon in Cancer makes a water trine flow to Venus exalted in Pisces, the moon in Cancer then makes a water trine flow to Saturn in Pisces. And asks the question, is this real? Is this feeling, this high, the emotion? Is it solid? Is it a sure thing? What is really going on here with the moon now making this water trine flow to Saturn? Water in astrology is the element of emotion, the feelings. With the moon asking the question of Saturn, is this the real deal? Is this the real thing? Saturn's response is, time will tell. Saturn in astrology rules over time. Saturn takes its time. Saturn does not like to be rushed or pushed into anything. Venus exalted in Pisces has been moving closer and closer to Saturn this whole month. They've got a meeting to take place, and with Saturn, be on time, don't be late. Monday, January 13th, we have the first full moon in the sign of Cancer for 2025. This full moon is at 24 degrees Cancer, cardinal water Cancer, which just cares so much. Cancer is all about home and family and where the heart is and memories, things that nurture you, things that make you feel comforted. Full moon in Cancer is that feeling of a comfortable, safe blanket that feels so good. Take your shoes off, relax. Mom's home cooking. That feeling of you're safe, you're protected, you're home. The full moon in Cancer makes a conjunction to Mars retrograde in its fall in Cancer. You know on one level that you're home, you're safe, you're surrounded by love, friends, and family. Yet there's this feeling in the pit of your stomach that makes you feel impatient, like you better act now, or else you could lose out on this blissful true love that you've just found. Tuesday, January 14th, the moon moves into fixed fire, Leo, which rules over the heart. So romantic, so passionate, so expressive in its love and passion. Fire is exciting, it acts, it's impatient, it doesn't wait. The moon in Leo is easily swept away and caught up with the romance and passion of it all. Why wait, says the moon in Leo. I know how I feel. I know what my heart wants and desires. And I'm going to express it. I'm going to say and do something now. With the element of fire, yesterday isn't soon enough. Never mind the present. Today on the 14th, Venus in Pisces, on her way to meet up with Saturn, makes a square aspect to Jupiter in its detriment, retrograde in the sign of Gemini. The way that Venus is speaking to Jupiter in Gemini is not going over so well. It's not being well received. The way we're communicating, how we talk to each other, how we listen to each other, the communication in the relationship is being challenged with this Venus square Jupiter. And these are the benefics, the lesser and greater benefics in astrology. Jupiter and Venus making this square aspect to each other in love and how we talk to each other in a relationship. Venus is over the top, overblown. Jupiter is not listening. Things get repeated again and again and again. Things get overblown. Everyone's impatient. Everyone's talking. No one's listening. Now the communication between the two blissfully in love lovers isn't so loving. Pisces and Gemini are mutable signs of the zodiac. They're all about adjustment and change, welcoming change, the willingness to make changes. Things will change whether they like it or not. The mutable signs corresponding to the times of the year when we're not fully out of one season, we're not fully in the next season. It's shifting and morphing. Things are going to change in the relationship. Wednesday, January 15th, we have the Sun in Capricorn making an opposition aspect to Mars in its fall retrograde in the sign of Cancer. On this day, we have the waning gibbous moon, the time after the exact moment of the full moon, where the full moon brings into our awareness a lesson to be learned. The Sun in Capricorn makes an opposition to Mars retrograde in its fall in the sign of Cancer. Capricorn and Cancer are both cardinal signs of the zodiac. They take the lead and usher in a new season, a new time in our life. The lesson, with the full moon in Cancer and now the Sun opposing Mars in Cancer, is the lesson of who is the boss, who and what is running the show. The moon in fiery Leo is making an inconjunct aspect to Venus exalted in Pisces. This is the blending of hot and cold. It's passionate, yet it's stormy. The moon in fixed fire Leo is wanting Venus in Pisces to make the adjustments and changes and to move more quickly. Venus exalted in Pisces has to feel out the changes. Isn't ready yet, not sure yet. It's got to be felt through. Thursday, January 16th, we now have the moon entering cool, dry, mutable Earth Virgo. Mutable Earth Virgo rules over our daily habits, the little things that mean so much. Maybe you're a morning person, perhaps you're a couch potato. The other person likes to go out every night. Perhaps you're vegetarian, the other person is not. Maybe you like to save your money and be careful with your money. The other person just spends all over the place and says, well, we'll worry about it tomorrow. The endless daily habits. A habit is something that we practice on a daily basis. The moon in Virgo doesn't like to waste. It doesn't like to waste time, energy, and certainly as an earth sign, not money, does not like to waste money. Friday, January 17th, Venus's day, the moon is still in Virgo and makes an opposition aspect to Venus exalted in Pisces. An opposition is a separation aspect. The moon is where we are connected to our emotional body and feel at home, comfortable, safe, reassured. The moon in Virgo making this opposition to Venus is Venus now asking the question, what happened? We were so blissfully in love. All of the emotion was there. But then conflict, Venus square Jupiter, of how we speak to each other, how we listen to each other. What and how are we communicating? The moon in Leo to Venus in Pisces brought up the conflict of how do we express our love? How do we show love? Yes, love is an emotion, a feeling, but what is the behavior of love? Moon in Leo wants a lot of attention, needs to be appreciated. Is what are we going to do? How are we going to take action in a loving way? Not just feel it, talk about it, dream about it, but actually do something about it. The moon in Virgo making the opposition to Venus in Pisces are the things, the habits that annoy us or don't annoy us. Again, moon in Virgo, the daily habits, the little things that just mean so much, that can make or break a relationship. Even though all the love in the world, the emotion of love, can be there. The moon in Virgo asks the question, but does the relationship work? Saturday, January 18th, Saturn's day. Now Venus is making a conjunction to Saturn. Venus exalted in Pisces, conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Venus has been on her journey all during January, the new year, to meet up with the planet Saturn. Saturn that draws a line, Saturn that doesn't play, Saturn that makes us do the work, rewards us when we do the work, Saturn that says, here are the rules, this is the law, and Saturn enforces the laws. Saturn that communicated to Venus when Venus was all blissfully over the top, crazy ecstasy out of their mind, in love. What was Saturn's response to that? Time will tell. This cosmic journey of Venus exalted in Pisces, making its meeting with Saturn on Saturday the 18th, which is Saturn's day, is the Saturnian lesson of yes, the feeling and ecstasy and emotion of love is wonderful, but are we behaving lovingly? Are we acting on a daily basis in a loving and kind way? Saturn is also the great teacher, the Lord of Karma, the teacher that teaches us the tougher lessons in life, the way it really is. It is what it is. And as Venus has been on her journey this month to meet up with Saturn, is the lesson of unconditional love does not mean unconditional acceptance of bad behavior. Little by little, in all the different stages, as Venus exalted in Pisces made cosmic connections to other mutable signs of the zodiac that required change, adaptations, so that the love can grow and flourish and work. Saturn being the planet of time will tell. Saturn being the planet of taking responsibility in love and every other aspect of life. So you've fallen in love with Venus exalted in Pisces, blissful, ecstatic, head over heels. You feel that you know they're your soulmate, your twin flame. You're meant and destined to be together. You know that they are meant for you, the only one. They are the one. As Saturn would advise, as Venus meets up with Saturn in the cosmos this week, Saturn advises again. Only time will tell. Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars.